Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today we are going to solve laser heating problem in ANSYS Fluent. Let's see the problem first and try to simplify it through the assumption and then solve it. So here is the problem. A laser of pulse width of 100 microsecond is used to machine a polymer block. A laser beam has Gaussian intensity distribution with spot radius of 20 micrometer and 1.5 gigawatt per meter square peak intensity. I hope you must studied about the laser and aware of all these terms. Here, optical properties such as reflectivity and coefficient of absorption is given and ask for single pulse simulation. Moreover, they have given some more properties such as density, thermal conductivity, and specific heat. Since we need to simulate for single pulse condition, it is recommended to use 2D axisymmetric model over 3D model in order to save computational time. This is heat diffusion equation that is generally used to know the temperature variation in the domain. In the given equation, last term is a QYT, which is heat source term and given by the BL Lambert law. These all things we can incorporate in the model through the coding. Now I'm assuming that you have already installed the student version of ANSYS, so let's start the modeling. The step-by-step procedure is given in this document, so you can refer it to it in the case of any doubt during the process. Now let's see the modeling. For that, first we need to open Workbench 2020 R2. So it may take some long time based on your computer RAM and graphics. Here you first need to open Fluid Flow Fluent. Just by double clicking on it you can open it, and then first you have to create a domain or a geometry to formulate the problem. So first we need to go into geometry by double clicking on it. So by default it will give you a plane in XZ plane, but we want to make the plane in XY plane. So what we can do first, we can end the sketch first, then change the plane of sketching. So I give it to XY, then you have to make it in the front view. Now you have to draw your domain. After that you have to give the dimension. So click on dimension, give the dimension. Just by double clicking on it you can change the dimension of the domain. Here we have taken 0.1 mm in the x direction and 0.15 mm in the y direction. The reason why we took this small region, that is because we want to save the computational time for. That's it. That's the only reason. We can make it as a front view. Okay, now our domain is ready. So what we have to move again in the workbench. Right click on geometry and update. Once it's update, we have to create a mesh. So go to mesh. So when you double click on mesh, this kind of new tab will open, and you have to create a mesh in this particular domain. So what you have to do, you have to just check once whether the in sizing or this use adaptive sizing is no. If it is no, then you have to go to the mesh, then you have to click on sizing, then you have to click on face, then select the face and apply. After that you have to give the element size. So I'm giving 0.5 micrometer, 5 micrometer. Once you're done with this, you have to go to face meshing, click the geometry, click on geometry and then apply. Okay, after that what you have to do, you have to go to home, then click on this edge and give the name to all the edge. So this is our top page. So go to right click on top page, go to create name selection and write top. Right click on other faces and give it to the name accordingly. Okay, once you done with this, just check once over here. Both face sizing and face meshing have a tick mark over here, and check whether all the 4 boundaries have given some proper name or not. Once you're done with this, you have to just click on generate and mesh will generate in the domain. Now again you have to go to the mesh, right click on, means go to the workbench, right click on mesh and update. After that you have to go to the setup. Everything is else remain as it is, so you have to click on start. So this kind of tab will pop up. So what you have to do, you have to first go to general. It's by default in general. So you have to check for the pressure, absolute, transient and planar. Once you're done with this, you have to go to the model, go to the energy, then just click over here, tick mark on the energy equation, then press OK. After that you have to go to the material, go to the solid and right click on it, this. So in our case the material is polymer, so you have to rename it polymer. It's solid, give some chemical composition. I'm not changing the property for the time being, but you can change the property based on your requirement. Then click on create. They ask for change or create mix or override the aluminum, but we want to create a separate property for polymers, so we click on no. Then we have to click close. So one more material is added, which is polymer. Now we have to go to the cell zone condition, but before that we have to go to the user defined function. Then you have to click on function interpret, and you have to browse that .c file in which you have written the code. So currently I have already made the .c file, so I will call it over here. Then just you have to click on interpret. Once you click on interpret, you have to check over here in console whether they show any error or not. Once it clear with that, you have to go to the cell zone condition, go to the liquid, then right click on FFF surface, then go to the type and change type to solid. In solid, you have chosen the polymer material, so if not, you have to click on that. Then you have to tick mark the source term. Then you have to go to the source term over here. Then you have to edit this term, and number of energy sources you have to change to 1. So here by default is 0. Then another window is pop up. You have to change the user defined function, apply, click on that. Then you have to press OK, apply, press close. Once you're done with that, you have to go to boundary condition, you have to go to wall, and here the name you have given during the formation of mesh, that or 4 boundaries you can show over here. So you have to just double click on the any boundary condition and just give it the boundary condition. So bottom, for the timing, I will give it the fixed temperature 300 Kelvin, and material I want over there is polymer. So you have to click on apply, then close. Same way you have to do it for all the remaining boundaries. So in all the remaining boundary, I want to give a heat flux, or I consider as an insulated boundary. So that is what already given. So you have to just click on apply, and before that you have to change the material. Same way I do it. Same way you can do it for all the remaining boundaries. Once you apply the boundary condition, then you have to go to the solution. Then let me check what we have to do, or we can just go to in solution. That we can go to the initialization of the problem, double click on that. Then you have to just click on the initialize. Once you're done with this, you have to go to calculation activity, then go to the solution animation. Here you have to create one new object, which is contour, because we want our contour in our output or video. So that's why we select contour over there. Then what we want, temperature, static temperature, then that's it, save. and close. Then you have to click on that, select that contour, then click on OK. After that, you have to click on run solution. Here you have give some specific values type is a fixed, method is user defined, number of time steps I will give 100, then time step size is 1, then maximum interaction per time step is 20, and everything else remains same. So when I click on the calculate, it will run the simulation, the results. So it will hardly take some time based on your element size and other thing, domain size. Once you're done with this, you got the solution. Then if you want to uh, show the contour, you can go to the result, then you can go to the graphics, then you can just click over here contour, you will see the contour, or just by clicking over here you can create a new contour based on your requirement. Just temperature static, just click save and display, you can compute. So here they have given from the contour they have interpreted that minimum temperature of the contour is 300 and maximum temperature is 400 Kelvin, that you can show over here, or we can click on save and display. So it will show us the contour. So this way it will show you the contour of your domain. If you want to remove some material based on your conditions, so what you have to do, you have to go to that particular contour, then give the range, or just you can create a new contour, that will be better for you. Just have to click save and display thing. Okay, so this way it will show that maximum and minimum temperature. And if you have any specific requirement, such as the temperature above 400 Kelvin or some boiling point, the material having temperature greater than boiling point is removed. So let us assume that in our case the boiling temperature is 400 Kelvin. So what I need to do, just I have to click 400 over here, then so what it will do, it will maximum temperature of 400 and temperature material having temperature above 400 will directly means remove from the screen. So you have to click on save and display. So this way it will remove the material having temperature greater than uh, 400 Kelvin. Now just we can click on check the auto range, save and display. Again we put it as it is. Now suppose we want to create a animation out of this, so what we can do, so for that you have to go to the scene animation, then you have to give the data like starting frame 1, increment 1, end frame is 100. You have to here give starting and end frame, then you have to select MPG, then you have to just click on write, and you have to select the folder where you want to save the video file. Once this process is complete, then you can click on close and go to that particular folder in which you go to that particular folder, and you will find the video file over there. So you have to click close, go to that particular folder, you will see the animation file. So I think this is enough for you and for this lab. Thank you.